Just a little bit of a disclaimer, I'm not in the best of health today, but I'll try my best to deliver a good presentation. Obviously, it is no secret that Vodafone is currently rolling out a greenfield network in PNG, which will soon be operational. And if you look at a little bit of history in the last few years, ATH, in partnership with various partners, local partners on the ground, have expanded in the region. And Vodafone has now presence in Fiji, Vanuatu, Samoa, Kiribati, American Samoa, Cook Islands, and of course soon to be operational in PNG. My presentation today is slightly different. Without giving too much, I will endeavor to speak on a few important areas which are critical in terms of business transformation, and of course to take advantage of opportunities presented with improved connectivity and access to new technologies. And obviously, this is definitely in line with some of the technologies that you should be expecting that Vodafone will bring to the market. Now, why Papua New Guinea? It is an emerging market with great potential as the country continues its journey to transform into a modern nation. From a telco ICT point of view, Papua New Guinea ticks all the right boxes for us. It has a large population base and a very young population with a median age of 22.5 years. The current statistics on the ground indicate that only 34% of the people have access to mobile phones. Internet penetration is sitting quite low at around 15%, and social media penetration at around 11%. And this just provides so much opportunity for another operator to come in and take advantage of these low penetration rates in the market. Today, there are two main telco operators, three if we count Dataco, a few ICT companies, and obviously a few new niche ISP players in the market. Now, given the large and young population, the low internet penetration, the low smartphone penetration, I think it provides opportune time and a large amount of room for a fourth operator to come in to benefit Papua New Guinea as a whole. With the Coral Sea fiber cable now operational, it provides a whole new dimension for connectivity to the world and, of course, immense opportunity in this space. I'm sure the telcos and other infrastructure providers will continue to invest in building backhaul infrastructure, and various transmission mediums will see the telco and ICT space transform. And after me, you will hear from Paul from Dataco, who will be able to share some of the information with regards to the national communications infrastructure. From where we see, we can anticipate that there's going to be a widespread adoption of new technologies and services with these developments coming in. It will open up a whole new area of opportunity, especially in terms of cloud, in terms of internet and social media-based businesses, the rise of micro and small enterprises, and of course, a greater adoption of cloud-based services. The other area which I see a lot of opportunity in is obviously the mobile money and the M-commerce, and I will be covering some of this in a little bit more detail later on in my presentation. Now, with the increased smartphone and internet penetration, it becomes easy to roll out app-based services, such as government online services, government's digital transformation, even things like contact tracing. So recently, with the impact that COVID has caused in some of the other developed markets where smartphone penetration is quite ripe, you would see a lot of app-based solutions that are being rolled out. And these are very effective, very cost-effective, and quite easy to do. Now, if you look at the internet penetration and GDP of a country, there is a direct correlation between internet penetration and GDP. And there have been studies done that indicate around a 10% increase in internet penetration usually results in a 1-point increase in GDP. So what does a fourth operator for PNG mean? It means more competition. It will mean overall improvement in the product portfolios, resulting better service delivery, competitive pricing, and of course, new ways of doing things. I think the existing providers on the ground, B Mobile, Telecom, PNG, Dataco, Digicel, have all done quite well in terms of expanding the infrastructure and investing in it. And with Vodafone now coming onto the ground, you should expect a lot more competition in this area. And I think at this stage, if you look at Papua New Guinea, to a large extent, we feel that Papua New Guinea will most likely be able to leapfrog and adopt some of the latest technologies, completely bypassing legacy technologies. And of course, I will share some more details later on in the slides. Now, if you just take, for example, the Fiji situation, mobile phone penetration in Fiji is at 138%. Smartphone penetration is sitting at 85%, and internet penetration is sitting at almost 92%. And social media penetration access is sitting at around 70%. And what this has done is resulted in widespread adoption of some mobile-based solutions such as mobile money, and it is also driving the adoption of M-commerce, an enabler for the government's digital transformation agenda. Papua New Guinea will be no different, and I'm sure we will be able to see a lot of this coming in the near future. Okay, let's see. All right. Now, some of the key areas that I want to cover in today's presentation is what is driving the change? What does it mean to be a future-ready business? And let me just go back to this screen where it indicates there are three main things, amongst others, that businesses, especially businesses in an emerging market like Papua New Guinea, should consider as part of their strategy. The first one, obviously, is the impact that social media is having on the business. The second is cybersecurity. And with cybersecurity, especially in the last 18 months or so, the world has seen almost an increase of around 142% in terms of cybersecurity issues and hacking that happens. And if you look at the impact of ransomware on a business, so if a business gets impacted by ransomware, usually it means that the business is out of operation for around 21 days. So how important is it to look at social media, to look at cybersecurity? The area that I will want to cover in today's presentation is obviously the third one, which is the rise of cloud, mobility, and M-commerce, which is more in line with what we will be bringing to the market. So, very briefly, cloud has become quite mature in the last 12 months or so. And obviously, there are various players that provide cloud-based solutions, especially in the infrastructure, the platform, and the software space. Now, today, after 12 to almost 24 months of operating in a COVID world, we see the use of many cloud-based solutions that have been adopted. A lot of people in more emerging developed markets were working from home quite effectively during the peak of COVID. And what I want to propose or want to share with the team is that businesses should seriously start considering the infrastructure as a service, the software and the platform as a service as a way to transform their business. And it is quite important for businesses to look at this in Papua New Guinea, because there is some great work that's happening in terms of connecting Papua New Guinea to the outside world. So one of the key prerequisites for a operational cloud model is to have access to decent connectivity. And with the work that other operators, including Dataco, that is doing in PNG, it provides a great platform and a great opportunity for businesses to now start seriously looking at some of the cloud options. And what this means is it gives the businesses a lot of flexibility in terms of scaling up or scaling down resources as needed. It frees up the ICT or the IT teams in the businesses from keeping the lights on to really transitioning into looking at how technology can benefit the business. We have had various cases in Fiji, and at some point in time we will share these case references where businesses have seen up to 35% increase in productivity when migrating mission critical workloads from on-premise systems to the cloud. So in a combination of infrastructure, the platform as a service, and also software as a service, today using this Zoom link to connect with a wide variety of audiences that are logging in or connecting from all over the world using Zoom is a perfect example of how software as a service is now almost something that is taken for granted. There is a lot of people that are now starting to use things like Microsoft Office 365. Now, if you look at 365, it's a cloud-based solution. It's a software as a service. It's subscription-based. There is no wastage, and there's no need for big businesses to come in and conduct unnecessary audits to try and find gaps, etc. So it's quite suited. It provides additional solutions and services for collaboration. It provides an automatic backup of all your documents in OneDrive. So with this one solution, which is a cloud-based solution, you have 3 or 4 different ancillary solutions that are associated with it. And this is where a lot of businesses will see benefit in terms of cost effectiveness, in terms of improving productivity, and also in terms of providing a much better customer experience to your customers. Now, the other area obviously is mobility, and this is where the telecommunications operators are quite well suited in terms of providing an end-to-end solution. Now, if you look at telecommunications operations, before it was purely targeted at telco, but over the years you see operators such as Viber, WhatsApp, Microsoft that are all coming over the top and using the infrastructure provided by telecommunication providers to add value throughout the value chain. And what this means is that the telcos have also, over the last 4 or 5 years, have reinvented themselves and their operations. And they're now able to provide a lot of value in terms of providing a one-stop shop solution. So when we come to PNG, obviously we are building on the back of an existing established ICT operation. And as part of convergence, the line between IT, ICT, and telecommunications operators is shrinking every single day. So now if you go to a telecommunications operator, to a large extent, they will be able to provide you with almost your entire ICT requirements and needs. And the telcos obviously are very uniquely provisioned or positioned to provide end-to-end solutions, including connectivity, hardware, software, and anything else that goes in between. In terms of mobility, so some of the other areas that have progressed in the last 6 to 8 months is also things like SD-WAN, which completely changes the dynamics of the ICT area now. So what this means for the businesses is that you can now have multiple connectivity. You can have multiple providers to improve resiliency. And as I previously mentioned, that connectivity is one of the prerequisites for moving into the cloud. And you will see a lot of that happening. And I'm sure Paul, after this, will cover the expansion plans in terms of building the national communications and infrastructure on which the remainder of the telcos could ride and provide end-to-end services. The other area which I wanted to cover is the key area where a lot of innovation is happening. With mobility and widespread reach, telecommunications operators are uniquely positioned to provide access to new markets and opportunities. Now, if you look at the low smartphone and internet penetration numbers in Papua New Guinea, you will see mobile money solutions has a big opportunity. If done right, this can be a game changer, especially for an emerging market like Papua New Guinea. Now, in Fiji, we have this solution called M-Pesa, which has now also been expanded into the other regions where we operate. And it is widely seen as a digital banking solution, a solution that provides answers to rural banking. It facilitates international money transfer, domestic money transfer, the ability to pay bills, disperse money, and also undertake any government initiatives. We have seen in other markets where governments have used this platform during COVID to provide assistance during disasters. If you recall, during the aftermath of Cyclone Winston in Fiji, the mobile money platform was used by the government to provide assistance to the citizens. And this was a very targeted assistance where you could only use the assistance provided by government to be cashed out or used at hardware stores. And that was used to basically buy home rebuilding materials. And previously, something to do of this nature was extremely difficult. And with mobile money, I think the PNG situation is going to be extremely in line with what we could do in terms of providing that solution. The other one that is picking up pace is QR Pay, which is just from your phone, you tap and go. And again, this is facilitating cashless payments. In emerging markets, the penetration of scheme cards, the likes of the Visa and Master debit and credit cards is very, very low. So something like a mobile money solution can definitely help overcome some of these key challenges. QR Pay is also very simple and very easy. You don't need any fancy technology to run this. All you really need is just to print out the QR code, and you've seen an example shared by Andrew earlier on in the conference, where you just scan your phone camera and it just scans it and takes you to the site that you want to go. Now, in terms of other areas to look out for, obviously, is the online trading platforms. So you will see with the changes that have been brought about by COVID, a lot of telecommunications operators will soon be launching, or if not already have launched, online trading platforms that draws parallels to the likes of eBay, Alibaba. And these platforms, what it does is allows the growth and flourishment of micro, small, and medium enterprises, where it gives them a platform, regardless of where their location is, to be able to access new markets and sell their items. We have also seen a large uptake of this platform also in other emerging markets, where telecommunications operators have rolled such platforms out. And Papua New Guinea obviously is positioned very well at this point in time to adopt some of these great telecommunications-based technologies. The opportunities obviously in this space is endless. Digitalization is also driving greater adoption of payment automation for things like automating public transportation or ticketing at sports venues, and even the facilitation of any kind of disbursements and payments, whether it be from banks, quasi-financial operations. And what it does and what it means for a country like Papua New Guinea is that it overcomes the geographical challenges that may exist. You can also expand this to other areas. For example, in Fiji, we have also automated the public transportation ticketing system, where there is no longer any cash that is accepted. So it has become all cashless. So there are a lot of these solutions that exist in other emerging markets that can very easily be rolled out in Papua New Guinea. And obviously, given some of the challenges, the advantages that PNG presents in terms of the large population base, the young population base, and of course, the areas of opportunity in terms of increasing smartphone penetration is perfect. And that was one of the key reasons for our decision to invest in Papua New Guinea. Obviously, the greater access to connectivity is driving these changes. And while these areas are important for businesses in terms of key trends and strategy alignment, it also creates opportunity for many other new businesses and markets. Now, while the internet and smartphone penetration increases in Papua New Guinea, it also creates additional opportunity for other businesses. For example, people will need access to electricity to charge their phones. So it creates advantage or opportunity for other businesses to invest in energy sector. It will mean rolling out something like a mobile money solution will mean signing up and having access to a network of agents. What this means is there can be businesses that are set up to do fulfillment centers, to do agent work and all of that. So in line, the entire ecosystem is going to get enriched, and there will be value added to the entire value chain. So in terms of some of these key items, I think this more or less sums it up, that in terms of opportunity, one of the key areas that should be looked at by the businesses in PNG, if not already, at the back of improved connectivity, is the strategy to transform your business, digital transformation journey, looking at cloud opportunities, looking at how you can use social media to benefit your business, and of course, looking at how to manage the cyber challenges and the cyber threats. That's all I have. I think these are exciting times ahead. Technology will continue to improve, and connectivity will get better and more robust and resilient. What competition means is services will improve, prices will get better, investment will continue. There will be healthy competition between operators, and this means that at the end of the day, the customers will benefit. Tomorrow, there will be an increase or investment in other new technologies such as 5G, even faster connectivity, lower latency, allowing for introduction of many other services such as real-time telehealth, network slicing, which is more suited to the mining and petroleum industry, automation. And overall, I think it means endless opportunities. And, as the saying goes, the early bird gets the worm. So I hope, ladies and gentlemen, I have been successful in terms of sharing some of the useful insights. I think the time is right now to seriously do a proper due diligence in terms of taking stock and necessary steps to align your business practices, your vision, your direction, to take advantage of the opportunities that will be created by the technology evolution.